by the speakers, even if they're just looking at the numbers increase and looking at the feedback that's coming in. You guys are being live and active in the chats and answering questions and participating. That does a lot for the whole entire system. Okay. So again, it's just not the speaker's job. The speaker's job is not to sign your people up. It's the environment's job to give your people a nice, warm, and fuzzy so they can make a buying decision. Okay. You want people to come here and feel right at home, feel real comfortable about the culture. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But if you don't have any guests, right, that day, you don't need the system. You don't need the presentation, but the presentation and the system needs you. Okay. When you have guests, you need the system, and the system and the presenters and people be there for your people. Yeah. And introduce your people when they come on and say, hey, I'm on with Angie, I'm on with Tony out of Canada, or whatever it is. And so people can say hello. They can be greeted, right? So that's important. So make sure you are filling up these calls Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. They're off on Fridays, like I said, unless we have a special event like a happy hour call, which we had this Friday or last Friday. And then you have Saturday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, @core. We got some really capable speakers and presenters, guys. So make sure that you are supporting these people and encouraging these people by making sure they know that their time is not in vain. Go out there and invite. Okay. Last thing before we jump into the call or the training is, want to make sure you guys know that. Well, two things. Make sure you are always recognizing your people. If people are hitting ranks, make sure you recognize those individuals. Make sure you get them on a banner. Make sure you get the VP to make sure to post that picture in their screenshots and things. Where everybody can see it. That's one, because we want to make sure people are recognized for that. Two, we're looking for people who are investors, who are not recruiters, who are seeing really good returns. Get with your sponsors, and I want to be able to introduce some of you guys as well. Okay, because it's not just about recruiting; it's about investing and getting returns also, primarily, actually. Okay, so that's a great. I don't care what the returns are, just submit them, and we'll take a look at them, evaluate them, and we'll figure out which ones we want to use. We want to use them, but that's important. Lastly, you have the cruise. The cruise, make sure you guys are continuing to promote that. I'm gonna tell you, the rash of new enrollments are coming from the people who are just joining the group, guys. You'd be amazed at how many people who are just getting started. The ratio of people getting started in the actual group and joining the actual cruise is higher than the ratio of existing, investors and builders. So again, stop worrying about the people who've been there. They know what it is. They know how we get down. They know how we let our hair down. So make sure you communicate with the people who don't know and what their Sam Bean experience is like, what their Kim Bean experience is like, what their ForeSight family experience is like. That's who you talk to, because those are the people who are going to be your future anyway. Those are people you'll be building with and creating something significant with anyway. Okay. Don't try to teach an old dog new tricks. They already know better. They just need to do better. All right. So with that being said, everything is always about the leader, guys. Everything is always about the person who establishes the culture. Okay? And every room of leaders, as some of you guys have heard, and some of you guys have experienced, there is the leader. Okay? And so, but that leader will determine, good or bad, what the culture is in that group, what the culture is in that organization, what the culture is in that industry. And you can look at people who are iconic and the things that they do right now, and you can see how they've changed the industries that they're in. And it doesn't matter whether it's from people like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, some of the usual suspects, Oprah Winfrey and television. You have all these brand new people who are, teaching people how to get rich online, social media, the master classes. You have all different kinds of people who are extremely impactful. And when you look at what we do for a living, you look at the industries that we do, what we do for a living, it's no different, than somebody who has a sports team or even a college football team, for example. When you look at one of the most polarizing topics of sports today right now is Coach Prime over in Colorado, the Buffaloes. For those of you, anybody who follows sports, even if you're a casual consumer of sports, you know that right now all the buzz and all the hype is around a program that had a 1-11 record last year, right? And this is the thing about a great coach who has vision. I want to make sure you understand this, guys. When you look at a new opportunity, because we have so many people out there who they want to poke and prod and pick around opportunities as if they've been taught or qualified to even evaluate companies, and they haven't. Okay, they try to find all the things that are wrong and anything that can go wrong, and that's how they make their decisions, which is flawed because you're making a fear-based decision. Okay, what leaders do, people who have vision do, they see an opportunity, right? And when they see that opportunity, they make the decisions even with all the obstacles that they see in front of them. Okay, after they make that decision work. Okay, when you look at, and I'll give you a little quick synopsis, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, most of you guys know him, who, especially here in the States, he took a team called Jackson State, historically a Black university, and made it a powerhouse overnight. Okay, and when you look at him transitioning over to Colorado, right, because he had to make a decision, for his personal career and a career for his kids as well, they weren't going to pay him. So he said, you know what? We have people over here who would gladly have their program turned around, and insert Colorado. He takes that job, 1-11 program, and the man goes and he guts the whole entire program. He gets rid of everybody in the college that was on the football team, minus 3 or 4 people probably. I'm talking about 70 people probably coming in through the transfer portal, right? And you got to wonder, why would he do that? One, and what does everybody else think about that? Okay. And first of all, he's looking at it, he says, you know what? They're a 1-11 program for a reason. They only won one program. People didn't even watch Colorado football forever. Maybe since Doug Flutie threw whatever the lucky Hail Mary pass 30, 40, 50 years ago, probably. Right? They were irrelevant. But you have somebody who's a maverick who says, you know what? The game has been rigged. It's been rigged forever. And now that the playing field is level, they have a transport portal and players can now get paid and all this other stuff they got going on. Now kids can go and play for the coaches who they really want to play for. Okay. And see, again, the system no longer suppresses, the system that you want to run as a coach, right? So now Deion says, now I can recruit just like you can recruit on the same playing field. And they're not going to come to you now because of the name of the college. They're going to come to me now because they know for a fact that they earn the right to play, they'll play, and they know they'll get a fair chance. But anyway, we're going to coach them. We're going to be there to protect them. We're going to grow them up. We're going to raise them up. We're going to do everything, that we're going to do everything that we need to do to make sure that you win if you come to our program. And guys, that's what you're telling everybody all day, every day. But how many of you are experiencing that people are not coming into your program? How many of you realize that people really not believing in your leadership? The system that you're running, right? Your mental conditioning, your resume, how many championship banners you have in your back office, how many championship, back offices you have where you're showing people you made 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month, whatever, are you broken X, Y, and Z amount of leaders, right? And so when you look at Deion Sanders, he's not doing it everybody else's way. He's doing it his way. He came in, clean house. Everybody said it wasn't going to work, and then he blew out a national championship contender first game. Well, he took him all the way down to the wire, rather. Won by a couple of points, 100-point game, right? Basically. Won it this week, beat Nebraska. Blew them out in the second half. And so now all of a sudden, all of the doubters they're not saying, hey, look, not at first, last week, it was don't get excited after one game. Okay. This week is like, you know what, these guys might actually know what they're doing. Because he's brought in Hall of Fame coaches to coach with him. Brought in a no-nonsense, attitude. He's got people who he's raised, in the football game since they were kids that's not playing for him right now because they're not showing up the way he wants them to show up. They don't have the energy that basically he needs them to have to go out there and represent the team. Some of them still have a sense of entitlement, but they're getting over it real fast because that bench is lonely. right? But right now, that's the most, from the worst program out there to the most visibly watched program every week now. People spilling out the seats just to see if this man is going to win again this week or if he's going to lose. You got people wanting him to win. You got people wanting him to lose. He's the epitome of being a person who is either the villain or the hero, the antagonist or the protagonist, somebody who you want to root for, somebody who you don't want to root for. He is good for college football, and you have to be to your business and to your arena what he is for college football, guys. There's no room for, also rans and Me Too's. It's time for you to get unique. It's time for you to go out here and build your brand. It's time for you to go out here and build a culture, right? Because again, if you want people to come and stay, right, you have to have a culture that they can believe in. So when they got rid of that, when they hired Deion Sanders, the admin got rid of the coach. And then you say, you know what? They got rid of the coach, but the people who he coached, they still infected. So we got to get them out of here too, right? We got to get the people who don't want to come and believe in it. They don't want to buy into the vision. We got to get them out of here too, because that's the leaders that he left behind. Because remember, in every room of leaders, there is the leader, right? So you got the coach, the football, quarterback from last year. He's still in that room, so he's a leader. So if he's got the philosophy from the last coach, you got to get him out of here. Yeah, but some of you won't be able to do that because some of you are scared of what people think about you, what people say about you. You're more, fearful of how people will behave around you, and even in your absence, based on, how much integrity you perform with around them. So when it comes to the fish, some of you guys, not all of you, have heard of the old saying, "Fish rots from the head down," right? And the problem with the majority of people out there, instead of throwing away the whole entire fish, they'll just chop the head off, not realizing that even though you don't see the mold and mildew on the fish, it's still contaminated. Bacteria is still on it. Okay, so when you look at what real leaders do, guys, there's a couple of things that I've observed that you can actually take note to, and you can pretty much use to go out there and build something special for yourself. And the cool part about it is some of the things I'm about to read off, a lot of you guys will realize that you've been doing a lot of this stuff already, or some of this stuff already, or you're familiar with some of this stuff already, which means it's going to be easier for you to embrace. And so, and by the way, just like Deion Sanders had a transport portal, your internet, social media is your transport portal. That's how you make your money. All right. But first and foremost, you're the leader, guys, and you may be the reason, well, not maybe, you are the reason your culture is amazing or it stinks. You are the reason, okay? And just everybody just type in real quick, take a second, I am the reason. Let's go ahead and make a declaration. I am the reason for the culture in my group, right? No ones, no I's, no loves, no 4 5s. I am the reason. This is declaration time. I am the reason for the culture in my group. And you might want to write that down in your journal somewhere as well. You need to give yourself a moment and think about that, process that information, write that down so you come back to that. But once you take ownership of that, once you realize that you are the reason for the culture, as I say most of the time, you're the reason for the treason, not the reason for the season, right? It starts with you. It starts with you. If you're not the reason, guys, and you know it and everybody else know it, then you'll remove yourself from that culture and from that environment, and you'll do something about it. Okay? And we've done that before in the past. And you guys know about that. It's well documented, and it's but you guys know about it well. But there are some things that I observe when I look at, leaders. And number one, and these are not in no real order, somewhat in order, but not in any real order. But you have to, number one, you have to be willing to scratch. You have to be willing to build it from scratch, rather. You have to be willing to build it from scratch, from ground up, with just you. Don't worry about who's coming. And some people, I'm just telling you, sometimes you just got to pack up and move in the middle of the night without nobody knowing. Let everybody wake up next day and realize you're gone. Leave no trace. because if you leave a trace, they'll find you, and now you'll migrate your problems to wherever you'll end up at. They'll just follow you. Some of you guys need to learn how to build loans, start all over again, and remove yourself from all of the environments, that are conducive for you failing. But start over from scratch. This has got to be some of you have got to create what we call a season of separation with some of the people who are toxic, some of the people who are holding you back, some people you love and care about, but they're bad for business. Okay. Remember, if you're willing to start from scratch at some point in time and start by yourself at some point in time, you being the prototype, at some point in time, you being that person making that decision, you realize that you won't be by yourself long. When we left when we left the industry, network marketing, almost 2 years ago, we planned on starting from scratch, period. We said, you know what, we got about 5 or 6 people who we can build around, and that's all we need. But we had those 5 or 6, and more came because we were willing to walk away and leave everybody there. When people believe in you, trust me, they'll come. You won't have to worry about it. It's like your kids. Some of you don't trust your kids, and you're the ones that raise them. Right? So you got to allow your kids to be, who you train them to be. And, if they're not, you just continue to train them, continue to raise them. But at some point in time, you got to take your hands off the wheel and just let them do what they're going to do. And they're either going to make you proud or they're going to give you something else to work on. Right? Same thing here. If you've made an impact on people's lives and you actually have to make a move and you have to do something, then when you leave, you'll realize what type of impact you had on people, because they'll come with you. Okay. Number 2, set the vision for the team, guys. Set the vision for the team. Set the vision for the team. Okay. Who are we, guys? This is the ForeSight family, right? This is the ForeSight Business Academy, by name. But again, what is the vision for the team? The vision for the team is, again, to go out here and over the next 2 to 5 years, this is just like the initial vision. This is just like the initial, purpose, definition of purpose, Project 10,000. Okay. But those 10,000 fans, this is a vision for right now, Project 10,000. So you're giving people a vision. And I'm going to show why you have to give a person a vision. Okay? When you have an idea, you have a concept, you have a goal that you want to hit, it's a personal goal. It's your own personal goals. There's nothing wrong with having personal goals, but you should never tell people what your personal goal is that they're going to help you achieve. Think about that for a second. How many people would use, if I came up to you, Forrest, and say, hey, man, this is my goal, I need you to help me hit it. Never said anything about you, never said anything about the big team. How enthused are you going to be about me hitting my goal and you not hitting yours? There you go. So this is the thing, guys. Your goal has to be big. Your vision has to be big. It has to be family encompassing. Okay. It has to be big enough for everybody else to achieve. Like, so people say, well, why you want to hit MD? It's not to make 15 grand a day. That the money will come as a byproduct of me getting there. That's not going to be a problem. What happens when I hit MD, I will have had at least 2 EDs. I will have created at least 4 SVPs, at least 8 VPs, at least 16 minimal GMs, right? If everything went out bare minimal, but we already have 20 plus GMs. Y'all just won't stop, but it's just going to happen. And then when you hit MD plus, it means that you got another MD somewhere. MD plus 2, you got 2 more. See, the thing about it is, remember we talk about the circle of impact, and you're right there in the middle, right? And you're helping the people beneath you, is also helping the people above you, right? But if you focus on what's beneath you, you'll always help the people above you. And if you're helping both people simultaneously, you should never be without, right? We should never have a challenge at all. So, set the vision of the team. Make sure the vision is big enough to where, think about it, when we help 10,000 families get to $5,000 a month of residual recurring income, look at how many people will be receiving overrides off of the help that they achieve, the help that they granted other people to get to that goal. Right? So all the goals that you had, the goal that you had, and I want to put an extra $100,000 a year in my pocket, I want to put an extra $100,000 a month in my pocket. All that happens because of servitude. All that happens because you're putting other people first. Okay? All that happens because you're putting the vision first. And I'm just telling you, that's where everything happens, because you already know, without vision, people perish. There's a lot of people right now who are in SCF, and they don't have vision because they don't have a leader. But they're in. They get 1% a day, 1.2% a day. They get 1.4% a day. But again, they're only getting paid off of their own efforts. They're not being led. Okay? Because the person who got them in just, hey, look, we're gonna get in and make some money. No vision whatsoever. Okay. How many of you guys like following somebody with no vision? Put a 2 in there if you like to follow somebody with no vision. Put a 1 in there, if you want an actual leader. All right. So number 3. There you go. The ones they want actual leaders built. You want to build a core team, leadership team. Build a core leadership team around you guys. So you want to build a core leadership team around you. That's important. That's crucial. You want to know who your generals are. You want to know who your captains are, who your sergeants are, who your lieutenants are. You want to know who your majors are. And you're grooming these individuals. These are your successors, but these are also your cabinet members. These are your successors. These are also your cabinet members, but guess who else they are? Family and future business partners. I'm talking about extended family and future investment and future business partners. Okay? Think about it. You got, say, Earl is at Earl is at, let's say, $10,000 a day, and Earl is making a ton of money now. A ton of money. Now he can go buy a golf course, right? And say, guys, I got a deal. I got a golf course. I can get, some land. We can get this golf course, built out. We can put 20 million in this thing, and we go out here and create one of the best golf courses. Now, Earl, I know for a fact it costs way more than 20 million to build a golf course, but I'm just saying, because I don't associate with me with golf at all. So, but just as an example, Earl hit up Dr. Arlene, say, hey, we got a $20 million project online to get started, 200 million over, but all we need is a 20 million. I'm looking for 10 people to put 2 million in. Dr. Arlene's like, oh yeah, I got you. Let's do it. Earl says, okay. Call Earl Beckett, call Evans over in Kanye, Evans Kanye over in Kenya, Africa, call Dr. April over there in Florida, and all of a sudden, you got 10 people with $2 million each, and then y'all just bought to a project because, again, these are your core people who you built around, and you built something special with. But y'all have all have the same philosophies, all have the same principles, all y'all have the same values, and y'all grew together. Okay, think about it for a second. When you have a person when you have a person, you got 2 different marriages. Okay, let's say you got a woman and a man who've been married for 10 years, and they came up. Both of them had a job at one point in time, and one started a business, the other one quit their job and helped them, and all of a sudden they built this empire. Then you got over here, you got a lady who built the empire and married a man who basically wasn't a part of their process. Who do you think's relationship's most secure? 1 or 2? The couple that built it together, or the person who married into it? That relationship. Hey, so 2, again, so when you look at 2 guys, that's the guy who married in. He wasn't along he was just along for the ride. Okay. He saw her at a mixer, they hooked up, and 2 years later, they divorced. People who actually build it together, guys, that's why, again, when it comes to people who are coming in from other groups and other companies, I really don't care anything about their accolades. I don't, because the accolades did nothing for you over here. Right? The accolades didn't do any presentations before they got here for y'all to build up and remember, everything y'all build right now is going to be what attracts other people from other companies, right? And that's cool, but we'll have people making the type of money in this company as people who have no experience than people who have all the experience and other companies making less money. That's why you'll start to see them come over here. But you want to make sure you build it organically with your core team. You want to build a solid core team. So when people do come into your culture and your environment, they can't shake it. They either have to fall in line, basically, or they have to leave because they'll be uncomfortable. So, but make sure you build a core leadership team, guys, people who you can grow with, people who you can rely on, people you can count on, and people who count on you. As a trust factor, make sure it's solid. Now, also, you got to start to learn how to. This is a skill set, guys. You got to start to learn how to take your emotions out of your identification process. When you're identifying who to work with, when you're identifying who to build around that's in your team, not your leaders, just the team, just the people who are coming in that you're trying to figure out, is this person I could put resources in? Is this person I could put time in? Okay. Is this person actually doing the things that I coach? Because we give advice all the time. I give advice all the time. And I just sit back to see who's going to take it. Okay. And then I might do it 2 or 3 times on purpose, just so I can establish, okay, I can establish a case, against working with you. So when you say, hey, look, this happened, well, no, this happened all 3 times. We're having the same conversation about the same thing that I coached you on 3 times. And most of you guys who know me, I don't coach more than once, but for some people, they need 2 or 3 times just to make sure that they have a paper trail. At that point in time, you disqualify that person and you find somebody else. Now, you have to make sure you're working around that person, to get to somebody that's in their team that actually appreciates you. They're grateful for your time, your energy, and your efforts. And they really do want to take this thing seriously and pour their heart into this thing. That's the person that you adopt. That's the person that you indirectly recruit. And when I say about it, that person's already in the system. You don't take them from them. You just let them come live and sleep at your house. That's still your mama. You're still your daddy. Yeah, but you come sleep over here at Uncle Sam's house, Uncle Kim's house. Okay, come over here at Aunt April's house, right? Aunt Claudia's house, and let us feed you over here. We'll make sure you get to school and everything all right. Just come over here. Okay. But indirect recruiting, guys, those people will probably become some of your most successful people because they'll become some of your most loyal people. They're looking for somebody who will take them in and give them a chance. Okay. But you don't know what they look like because you're not promoting everything that you should be promoting. So you don't know if they're doing, anything that'll qualify them or disqualify them. Their background doesn't qualify them. How cute they are don't qualify them. Okay. How nice and sweet they are doesn't qualify them. When I say, hey, are you willing to make a list, and they do it, that's a check for them. If not, it's a check against them. Are you willing to be on the Millionaire Mindset call? Are you willing to become a member of Crash Camp? It's a check for them or a check against them. Okay. Allow people to qualify themselves or disqualify themselves. Don't put people in a position that they don't deserve to be in, or I'm just telling you, it'll be your worst nightmare. When you give somebody something that they did not deserve, 1, they're going to resent you for it. 2, they're going to abuse it and make you pay for it. Okay. All right. So again, become a master, guys, at identifying the players, the people who you want to, and these are people who, again, going to buy into the right behaviors, the right philosophies, principles, and values. The next one here, you have to become the prototype. You have to become the prototype. So if you notice, anytime I give you guys a plan on what to do, how to build it out for those who are builders, not necessarily investors, but those who are builders, I give you a plan, but it's a plan that I'm currently working or have worked many times. But you'll never see me come into a platform and do anything less than 30 days in my first 30 days, 30 people in my first 30 days of recruiting, because I understand the power of numbers and compound volume, how that volume shoots up to everybody and feeds everybody, and how everybody realizes, man, I'm getting this by doing nothing. Okay? But I'm building it out. I'm the prototype that people get a chance to see. And when they see it, and they fall in line, that means that person is ready. That's somebody I can work with, somebody I can develop. If they're sitting back incubating, that's a person that I'll let, the system cultivate them. They can be on the millionaire mindset calls or crash camps and stuff like that to keep them close to the fire and keep them getting ready to get ready. But I'm going to work with those. I'm going to identify those people who are showing me that they want it. And I'm not making exceptions. I'm not going to be situational based in this. I'm going to be principle based on it. These are my terms. These are set, and they don't change because X, Y, and Z. And I strongly encourage you guys to do the same thing, because again, you're going to have to stand for something, or your portfolio will fall for anything. Your portfolio will crumble. Okay, so become the prototype, guys. Work the plan where everybody can see you working. Get the results. Go out here. It's no different than me saying, hey, make sure your personal account has a decent enough amount of money on it, so when people see what you're staking, they can say, you know what, you believe. That's a prototype, right? If you're telling people about how to actually build it, and I say build it 5 across, right? When a person look at yours, they should see 5 across. And if you got 30 people, 40, 50 people, they should see multiple wallets based on how you build it. Okay, based on, again, where you have those wallets, but they should see pockets of 5, maybe 6, depending on who's active in those legs of businesses. But you become the prototype. How many you put in, that's what they're going to be. Remember, you're going to be the prototype for a winning business or a losing business. If you come in and do nothing, you're the prototype for inactivity. You come in here recruiting, you're the prototype for massive action, massive recruiting. You come in here plugging in, you're the prototype of being a system-based person. You have to be what you want to see in your people. Okay. Again, that's part of your culture. That's what you establish. All right. Next. You have to instill confidence in the team, guys, collectively and individually, by creating visual monikers, slogans, and giving personal time and attention to your key people and people who you see who may be on the horizon. So when I say instill confidence, when you have people who are presenting, you have people who are training, you have people who are role playing, you have people who are doing all these different things, going out here, meeting people, talking to people, getting accounts. Again, and you're encouraging that individual, you have to be able to do that. This has to be an environment that's conducive to nurturing people and moving people along. Okay. So when you look at the slogans like Project 10,000, ForeSight, family, well, we know that you're rich before you do. Carly, the CEO of Fun, Dale the Crazy Cajun. Whatever it is, again, you want to have those type of things in place, but you still want to make sure that you are, checking in on your people. Like what's his name? John C. Maxwell says in one of his books, he says, walk down the hallway slowly, right? So you can meet people, talk to people, listen to people, answer questions and ask people questions, right? And so that's important. So along with, again, instilling confidence in those people. Number 6. Well, the next one, number 7. Identified opportunities to strengthen each position, guys. And when I say position, I'm talking about positions on the roster to improve the overall team. So when you look at the speakers, like we want to make sure we have speakers, but we want people who will compete for those spots and come in and say, you know what, I want Monday night, I want Tuesday night, I want to be able to add, I want to be added to it. But again, they're added to it not because they want to, or not because they make a lot of money, but because they deserve to, and because we know for a fact that they're following the system. So guys, when you look at people who we put in position, they may not be the best speaker or presenter, but they may be the best representation for who we are as a family. There's some people who, again, they may be a little slick, right? A little self-serving, who speak really, really well. If that person has an agenda, that person has a motive outside of helping the people who are here, the way we designed it, the design to help to come, I can never call that person a leader. I can never put that person on the microphone and say, hey, look, guys, follow him or follow her. Because when I do that, and that person says, you know what, this place is not big enough for me and a Sam Bean or me and a Kim Bean or me and a Dr. Marika or whatever, just I'm leaving. Okay? And because I said follow them, they followed them out the door to another company or to another investment portfolio or something like that. That's why when you edify in degrees, but you also are strengthening positions by putting people in a position where they can be replaced at any given time, because you have people who, even though they serve, some people serve for an agenda, and they serve because, again, it's a form of manipulation. So when they serve, they feel like they can't be replaced, and if they can't be replaced because they see nobody behind them, that's when they take liberties. You don't want anybody, guys, holding you or anybody in your groups hostage, right? So make sure you continue to develop people. Don't rest on your laurels. If you have presentations being done 5 days a week, go find your 15 presenters. People who are out there hunting, people who want to shine, people who want to go out here and do something good for the group that you can develop and you can coach on. Again, because when you don't, you set yourself up for manipulation. You set yourself up to be taken advantage of. Okay, but you strengthen the whole entire team. Let's see here. The next one, inspire, motivate, and really put your team in a position where you're always motivating them, you're always inspiring them, you're always lifting them up, you're always encouraging them. Basically, you want to put yourself in a position where the belief level is increased every time you communicate with them. Okay, that's why we always talk about what the daily is now, how big the team is now, how close we are to ED now, how many people we recruited now, how much money, and you start talking about all this stuff, right? And you continue to get people hyped up about what's going on in their business, what's going on in their life. Oh man, you just one GM away from VP, or you just one VP away from SVP, or you just $250,000 away from SVP, or you whatever. Oh man, you got 7 people making $100 a day. Oh my God, are you just you're again giving that person their kudos and giving that person their hype. You're that person's hype machine. It's not manipulation. That person's being celebrated in a manner that they desire to be celebrated. People want to be celebrated for their accomplishments. And remember, what gets rewarded gets repeated, right? And so the more and more you inspire people, the more and more you motivate people. It's like when I call people and we have conversations, we get stronger, we get better, but we get results. Like if I'm calling, Julius Weems, and we have a conversation, somebody's going to learn something out of that conversation. If I'm calling Dale, and Dale, I got to call you back, bro, later on. I forgot I owe you. I know you hit me up earlier, but I got you. Or if I'm talking to Evans, or I'm talking to Latham, I'm talking to Dr. Marika, or whoever I'm talking to, it don't matter. We're going to have a conversation, and there's a lot to learn from each one of those conversations, because all those conversations are different. But somebody's always getting some nuggets of wisdom. Somebody's always getting some advice. Somebody's always getting some encouragement, some inspiration, some vision. Somebody's always getting something that's going to help them, again, get closer to their goal, get closer to achieving their goal. And that's who you are. Remember, you wear a lot of hats as a leader, guys. That's why it's the highest paid profession in the world. That's why everybody can't be called a leader. They can be called one, but they can't represent that. Okay. They can't represent that. But inspire your people, celebrate. So yes, the next one is celebrate achievements and strides. Okay. And that kind of just goes hand in hand with number 7, but I'm with number 8, celebrate achievements and strides, or celebrate. And we want to be celebrating people out there where everybody can see it. That's why the ATM is also so important, because you have over 1,000 people in there. And every time you put a banner up, over 1,000 people have the ability to see it, right? Over 1,000 people have the ability to be inspired, have the opportunity to celebrate that individual by liking that post, which I suggest, guys, even if you don't read the post, like the post, love the post, stop lurking, and let's start loving, right? You have zero idea what it'll do for somebody to see 17 loves on their achievement. How many you want to see on yours? right? Treat people, love on people like you want them to love on you. Don't be a grumpy business partner. Selfish business partner, right? So again, love on people, period, man. I'm just telling you, when you love on people who are not even on your team, everybody who are not on your team will love on your people when you get them. Because some of you, I don't have a team yet, but with that attitude, you won't, right? If you don't learn how to celebrate people, guys, yeah, you won't have the ability to be celebrated. You'll be all alone once you accomplish something. That's lonely. Okay, so that's huge. But celebrate people for their achievements, their strides. And again, for those of you who have banners, you can literally put your banners as pictures on your Facebook and social media profiles. Okay, it's a really good way to have people, start conversations and write nice little witty write-ups up under your post, so it get people kind of curious about what you got going on, what you're doing, and to make them ask. Okay, and that way you can say, I'm glad you asked, and then let me share with you what I'm doing and give me a big claim, right? So again, and some of you guys who also, you can post some of your people's stuff on it. He's one of my new investors. They just got to X, Y, and Z level, and they just built a portfolio of investment portfolio in less than 30 days that's getting them $100 return per day on their money. I mean, on their portfolio, plus 1.2 or 1.4% of their money. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to write, but if you're not posting that banner, you can't write anything about it at all. You lose the marketing ability at that point in time. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Next one, create friendly competitions. Create friendly competitions. When we did coffee, we had what we call the retail rivalry. And most of y'all realize that, like, every time somebody sold anything, a case, a box, a shake, bag of shake, whatever it is, they went on there on the retail rivalry post and they put what they just sold, right? Oh yeah, this right here, skin this, skin that, whatever it was, just sold that retail rivalry, right? When you have friendly competition, guys, you have people who really push each other, and it's healthy. If you see somebody, you know what? Like I have Dr. Marika, we have competitive conversations all the time, and how she's like, I got to get here before XYZ, I got to do this for that, and it's all cool because she's helping people get to where they got to go, but she's still a competitive. She's that little soccer girl, the little soccer ball kicking girl, that she grew up as, is still in there, right? It's still in there. And so again, it's not just her though, but it's a lot of people who silently want to be recognized, who silently want to win. Lakeland wanted to be the first, GM in the group. He did. Yeah, this is one of his goals, and this is friendly competition, but everybody has somebody who they want to get. Like when we used to have, our ForeSight awards, and we used to have all different types of awards for all different type of things, and people would be calling people out. Carl, I'm coming for your award. Okay, Laura, I'm coming for your award. Marika, I'm coming for your award. You got people hunting you down for your awards, for your recognition. Now they want to be the next ones in line to get it, right? That's very, very healthy. That helps companies thrive. That pushes people and get people into action and momentum. And you have to be good at promoting, but which is something you should put on there as a caveat. Become a master promoter, for that last one I just gave you. That's one thing that I want you guys all to understand. Promoting can make up for lack of knowledge and wisdom in this situation. Look, when you look at promoting is what bridges the gap and can actually have you earning more than the person who's actually doing the presentations. Based on how we build, if some of you guys really took this thing really, really serious, some of you guys go out here and beat some of these people who are at SVP to MD. If you just did it the right way, if you just built it the right way and just believed in the system and believed that you would do what was required as opposed to what was easy. If you be willing to do everything we talked about today, just everything we talked about today, and make sure you got your life right when it comes to these things I just mentioned, you put yourself in a position to win. Then it becomes about time. See, some of you guys, because the interest does hit and you do have options every day after that money hits, you have the option to pull it all the way out or to let it compound or to sell it. right? So it's going to grow naturally, organically, but it may not necessarily grow at the rate of speed that you really and truly desire it to grow. But if you actually build that system and you put everything together and everybody's really using this thing and everybody's on the presentations and inviting for the presentations, everybody's making sure that people are getting the skill set development, leadership development, and the numbers on the board, you won't be able to be caught. If people who got started ahead of you, you'll catch them. Okay, and it's only a matter of time. The people who get started behind you, good luck. I used to tell them that all the time. Ask Dale. I used to tell them that all the time. Boy, people got problems. People who are in front of me, people who got started before me, good luck. I'm about to run them all down, right? And the people who get started behind me, good luck. If you catch me, it won't be the easiest thing you do. But if you're on our team, I'll help 100% of you, 100% of the time. Because again, there's a fiduciary responsibility built in for everybody, not just me. If everybody in this system, guys, really contributed to everybody in this system's success, everybody in this system will be contributing to everybody in this system becoming millionaires. That's how that works. When you have an environment like that, guys, that's how it works. It's all about you being selfless and making your own contributions to the situation. Your unique contributions, not the same as nobody else, but unique to you in a manner that it brings value to the system and the people can duplicate it and we can build on top of it. Oh boy, Forrest, you have way too many good suggestions and stuff. So stop. You've been having me do something else. Because I love my dog tags. You know, that ceremony, that's in the what am I doing right journal, bro. So yeah, that's one of those things you got to bring back for sure. But you got to ask yourself, here's some questions that you can ask yourself, guys. So because it's all about culture. So you look at, again, going back to how we started this conversation, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, the culture that he's creating, that is drawing people to that program. Most people don't even know his two-way player that plays cornerback and plays wide receiver sometimes. He passed up $1.5 million from a booster to go to another college when he was at Jackson State University. Passed up $1.5 million, guys. And it's because the value and the leadership for Coach Prime. So, I want to work with him because this guy was a two-way player as well. This guy played defense and offense as well. So he can teach me how to do it. He's got Super Bowl rings from multiple teams. Okay. He's got all the success on all levels that I want to learn from this person, because if I take this 1.5 million to go play over here, then that means that they own me. That means that I have to play for the coach that they want me to play for. I got to sit on the bench if they want me to sit on the bench. They bought me for 1.5 million. Or I can go over here with Coach Prime, and Coach Prime can help me get 100 million on my second contract. 150 million on my second contract. Okay. First contract, 40, 50 million. Second contract, 100, 150. Right? I could be the number one cornerback in the league if I take his coaching, his mentorship, and I believe in the process, and I believe in myself that I'll go out here and evolve into the person, the best representation of myself, but in his likeness as my mentor. And so that's why you pass up the money, because that right now money is, again, all money ain't good money. I tell y'all, that's why I tell y'all, some of y'all are recruiting some of the wrong people too. Y'all bringing some bad season. It's not about the amount of money, it's about what's attached to it. Okay. But again, don't get it twisted. That the amount of money does matter too. But I'm just saying, there's just individuals. Okay? Your individuals pay more attention to the individual than what they represent as a profit or as a commission. You don't need it that bad. Okay. But ask yourself this question, guys, about you and your culture. You have a group. If it's just you and 2 people in your group, you and 10 people in your group, you and 15, 20 people in your group, ask yourself about your culture, the culture that you are actually providing or creating for your people, who are you inspiring? Okay. Who are you inspiring? In your group, who are you inspiring? And how do you know that they're inspired by you? Okay. Ask yourself, do you inspire yourself? Okay. Do you inspire yourself? Do you sit back and look at the things you got accomplished today or every day at the end of the day and say, you know what? I outdid myself today. I'm proud of what I did today. You know what? I can see this thing. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can see, VP this week or next week. I can see SVP this month. I can see ED this month, based on me doing the work that I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 days, the last 30 days. You know what? I'm excited about me. Okay. Would people want to invest and build with you? Will people want to invest with you and or build with you? So these are questions you're asking yourself, and these are questions you should be writing down or typing down, because this is not a one-time thing. If you're not asking yourself these questions, you have no checks and balances for yourself, right? Because if I'm asking myself, if a person would want, if a big leader or somebody who had a ton of money, who had a lot of influence, would like for me to represent them and their people, everybody in their Rolodex, if the answer is no, honestly, okay, you know why. So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't they want to? Why wouldn't they want to join? Oh, because I'm lazy. I procrastinate. I don't keep my word. I don't follow through. I don't personally develop myself. Matter of fact, I don't even do anything skill set wise. So I can't really help their people. So ain't nowhere in the world I would recruit me, or I would let somebody recruit me. Or I would want to be recruited by me, and I can see why people wouldn't want to be recruited. And that's when you go back and you change those things. You start working on those things. Because some of y'all lying to somebody you can't lie to, and that's yourself. Yourself knows the truth 100% of the time. You know what you are and what you're not doing. As a matter of fact, the moment you should have did it, you knew it. There's some people right now who really desperately need it, what we're talking about tonight. And I always say the people who need it the most ain't never on the call. But they'll be the first ones complaining about life and about the government and about, whatever. They'll find a reason to complain. But that's the question. Again, would people want to invest in you or invest with you or build around you or build with you? Will people turn down money will people turn down money and positions in other companies to work with you? Will people turn down money and positions in other companies to work with you because of the value, not because of how cool y'all are? What type of culture do you think we have? And I want you guys to type it in. What type of culture, okay, do you think we have in the ForeSight family? Okay. I want to see what some of y'all think about the culture here. So you have some companies who have cultures, and you have some companies who have disciplines. You have some companies who have cultures of discipline. You have some companies who have cultures of edification, cultures of high impact sales, a culture of competition. So it's like, what type of culture? When people look at the culture and they're in it within the culture, and what's impacting them the most, right? Nurturing, consistency, leadership, okay, uplifting leadership, inclusive leadership. Inclusive leadership is huge. All of it is big, service oriented. Okay. And so when you look at the group and our vision for the group, guys, our culture, and you keep on going, but the culture is really about that was one word. If I'm gonna put it in one word, the word is integrity. Okay. And I'm gonna say why the word integrity, because by definition, the word integrity it's not just a character situation. The word integrity also means whole, to make whole. Okay, 100% of something. And so you have people who are out there in industries like this and companies like this, and they just really want to take the money. They just really want the money and run. They just really want to build it real fast, help you make as much money so they can make as much money, and that's all they care about. They only want, if they want to help you, they only want to help you one way only. That's to actually help you make money. That's not how we want to do this. Our goal when it comes to integrity, okay, you have like emotional, okay, intellectual when it comes to personal development, because we want you to be emotionally sophisticated, right? And that comes with going through a process. You have to be conditioned and go through some things and grow through some things, have some counseling sessions and stuff like that with some people. And that's how you become emotionally sophisticated with a lot of things that's going on, but personally developed, mentally ready and equipped and fit to do business to go out here and lead people the right way. Again, philosophically and principle based. Again, that comes from personal development, and leading people systematically, financially, economically. Okay, financially, economically. These are things that you want to develop. This is what our culture should be doing. Okay, helping you financially, economically, helping you spiritually. And this is the thing about the spiritual thing, guys. When you look at the Quran, the Bible, whatever religious book that you study from, okay, at some point it's spiritual, period. And when you look at all these religions, a lot of them have things in common when it comes to, even though they express them differently, being right by your fellow man. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to how you raise your kids, how you treat other human beings, how you handle money, a lot of this stuff, again, it's not just in the Bible, it's not just in the Quran. There are other, again, things that you can read that have spiritual base that are really close in common, but when you look at personally developing people and you have people who start to change some of their bad habits and start changing some of the things they did that wasn't real kosher, and they start treating people a certain way, start developing people a certain way, learn to love and nurture people a certain way, as what happens is you see that person evolve and they end up becoming the person who they wanted to become spiritually, but indirectly. Most people don't even know it's easier to get there, if you did it without focusing on it. If you did like if I sit there and read the Bible and try to understand the Bible first and start to do all the stuff that's in the Bible, okay, at that point in time, so some people that's a chore. Some people that's something that they have to make time for. But when you're in a business like this and you're personally developing yourself and your people at the same time, having conversations and grooming people at the same time, it's happening real time. You're doing the same things. You're focusing on the same things. It's just written and read differently. But it's the same thing. You're becoming the same person you've always wanted to become, but it's just not in a spiritual, directly correlated with spirituality. It's a secular form of spirituality. But what's the most important? How you get there, that you get there, right? So again, that word integrity, that has a lot to do with it. Okay, so again, that's the culture, guys. Use edification, because when you look at edification, look at evolution. Okay, look at elevation, getting the person to the next level in life. How they think about themselves, what their financial thermostat says, what their personal development thermostat is. All of that stuff is what we foster here. That's what the intent is here. So at some point in time, if you've been around us for any amount of time and plugged into our system, literally plugged into it and took full advantage of it, you're not the same person that we met a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You're not. You can't be. You can't be. It's impossible. Okay. So again, make sure you understand what culture you're creating in your organization. What bad habits are you teaching your brand new recruits? What great habits are you teaching your brand new recruits? See, because for me, and all of y'all hear this on Three Ways and Lifelines, I talk about, 1st time I talk to a person after I made a friend, after we connected, And after I've earned the opportunity, I earned the right to, based on your edification and based on that person's permission, I'm going to give that person information that they need to know, not that I'm comfortable giving. Okay? Because it's not about me at that point in time. It's about me giving a person all of their options and allowing them to say yes or no. Once you say yes or no, that's you off my chest. You're no longer my burden. I've done my part. Okay? Like my sons, they'll tell you anytime we have a conversation, and I say, okay, well, you want to make that decision. That's a grown man decision. Okay. You know, there are repercussions that come with it if it goes wrong. Is that what you really want to do? Before you answer that, let me give you what the repercussions are. Let me tell you what, the side effects of that is, right? Going forward. And so now you make your decision. And they normally make the right decision. After that, once they really got it, and once it's all laid on the line, because I've taught you, I've trained you, I've raised you. So I know what you are capable of doing. I just don't know what you will do. Like everybody who's in this system, right? You know Grant Cardone is here. You know that thing is expensive, but it's worth it, right? You know it's effective. You see people, coming in and going crazy about it every day. But the question is, what is it in you that's keeping you from promoting it to the people, even though you know it's good for them? That's the question you got to ask yourself. What is it that's causing me to tell my people indirectly, I want you to fail. I want you to have it hard. I don't want you to get better. Right? Because if I'm talking to Irvin, hey man, look, make sure Grant Cardone, make sure you're there on crash camps on Saturdays. If you can't make it because of work during the week, that's fine. Go back and watch the replays. But Earl, you need to. Okay. Gerald, you need to, in my personal opinion, this is what you got, bro. You have to do this. You got 17 people. You need to be on the VIP. You have 17 people. Okay. I know you can find at least 10 people who want a better life, who will go out there, plug in to the system and start using Grant Cardone. Okay. You don't think if you had 10 people, on Grant Cardone, you can make that $500 a month back? When you go SVP, go ED, you don't think that $500 a month will come back? That investment you made on your people. Right? So as far as a millionaire mindset call, do you think not being on a millionaire call? Hold on, guys. We got somebody on the back line that's hot.
Addie Carswell, sir.
Got it. Thank you, Doc. All right. So do you think not being on the millionaire mindset got you closer to your goal or further away from it? So the things how many people did you invite for the presentation this week? 2. You had 5 presentations, but you invited 2 people. Do you think your activity is congruent with what you say you want out of life financially? Or do you think you should change your goals to meet your 2 people per week invite, activity? All right, well, Walter, let's do this then. All right, Sarah, well, this is what we need to do then. Okay. You get paid for having conversations, guys. Right? The people who have the most conversations on a high level, they actually earn the most money. Right? Some of your conversations you should be having 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is a PS5 prospecting conversation. Another conversation you should be having from time to time, depending on who you are, is a presentation conversation. A follow-up conversation. Follow through how you're doing conversation. How's it coming along conversation? Hey, how'd you like the training conversations? Like after tonight, if you don't know tonight, guys, after the call is over with, what your team got out of this call or any call, you're really not interested in, you're more worried about sleep than you are about their futures. And people who have teams can't sleep if you're a leader. Okay. And so if I send you a text message and I ask you what did you like best about what you heard tonight, and you can't answer me, it's because you wasn't on it. And that's fine. Remember, you don't have to be on it, but at the same time, I don't have to continue to pour my resources into people who don't plug into the system that I have created already. would you, as a leader, as a person who's a seven-figure individual, where you are right now, would you turn around and continue to pour into somebody who has holes in them? No, you wouldn't. Okay, so don't start now. Stop doing it. And again, start launching people properly. Start putting people in a position to win. Start teaching people exactly what they need to do, and make that your culture, guys. And start with the very next person. Forget about what happened to the person you recruited yesterday because you didn't have this information yesterday. Yesterday is a thing of the past, something that you can learn on and something that you can grow on. The very next person is the most important person because you get a chance to be born again as a leader. You get a chance to make up for you get a chance to right your wrongs. You get a chance to be better launching this person this time than you were the last time. And go apologize to the last guy, gal. I messed this up real bad. You should definitely be, again, plugging in here. You should definitely need to be participating here. Whatever it is, that was my bad. I didn't promote that to you, and that's, it's probably costing you money, and that's not why you're here. But the very next person comes in, you do have your checklist. What am I supposed to do with this individual? Get this person processed, get this person in the system, get this person productive, get this person's money back, get this person profitable, get this person's money growing every day, get this person a GM. And when you take one person, remember, it's the one person, guys, that goes out to help and impact thousands of people. That's why I don't talk about my testimonial. That's why I talk about y'all's, because people are always going to see me special as special when I'm not. What's special about me is I push everybody else into the light. There's a real good understanding that I actually have, and from a business perspective, when people see that you're pushing your people out front instead of trying to steal the light from them, that's where they want to be, because they're tired of it. They've been subjected to it for a long time. That's what's wrong with the industry, right? So at the end of the day, guys, let's make sure that you understand that you're responsible for the current culture in your group, big or small, and you're going to be responsible for the future culture in your groups, right? Good or bad. Okay. Keep that close to your spirit and let that be your deal going. The culture of getting people started right. Just do that part and have a culture in your group of getting people started right, and having a culture of putting 15 to 30 people in business in the first 30 days. Whatever you can combine those things and watch how your group grows, watch how it just takes off and has a life of its own. But the other thing is watch how much attention your group garners from leadership when you do that. Watch how fast people run to help you when you do that. As they say, dogs don't bark at parked cars, right? But if you turn the engine on and you burn out, the dog will start scratching too, trying to catch up. And they bark and they run, right? Until they can't catch you. And that's what's going to happen when you actually put yourself in a position. Like, I didn't know 𝐭𝐲𝐬, but 𝐭𝐲𝐬 knows me, right? He knew me because they talked about me. They talked about what we did in phase one. And guess what? They're now they're talking to me and talking with me. And now they'll be watching our presenters every day as well. You're going to start seeing people from their group on our actual Zooms, because they want to hear something different. They want to hear something. He wants people to be heard different. He wants their group to actually hear different presentations from different people. And we're the only group that can supply that for him. Think about that for a second. So now you got an MD who knows your name, interviews you anytime, whatever. And that person now, well, you might be on the call. He said, you know what, Miss Laura, I see Miss Laura. I know Miss Laura is the VP over there with Kim Bean and Sam Bean, or I see Dr. Arlene over there. I know she's the SVP over there, or she's the ED, or whatever it is. And now your people are on that call watching you get highlighted. If you look at X Lakeland, how much impact that actually had on his group. People now, when your people hear your name, they look at you crazy, because they're looking at you like they talking about, I grew up with him. I grew up with her. I just did business with her. I see her, him, and that's where you get your validation from. Remember, you're the prophet in your own hometown, guys. You need the system to beat your chest. That is the best way to do it. Get people started right. Get people in recognizable positions that we can recognize them, we can celebrate them, we can interview them, and learn how to duplicate that down in depth beneath them, and watch how strong of a portfolio you build. Okay, so with that, Carly, if you can come back on, guys. If you have any questions about anything that we talked about tonight, I definitely want to spend about 5 to 10 minutes, answering questions if you guys have them. If not, we'll wrap up. But put question, and then after that, go ahead, put your question in there so Miss Carly can find it. And for those of you who want to make sure you get yourself signed up in GCU, go to www.foresight-mg.com, and you'll be able to enroll yourself into that program. Let's see here. We just had a question pop up. All right.
I'm here for you, sir. I just didn't have my phone right there, so I gotta look for the questions. I see question, but I don't see the question.
The actual question.
But I see the.
There you go.
Will you be adding team numbers to Facebook page?
Team numbers like screenshots?
Yes, sir. Just like a daily update with where we're at total number-wise, team-wise, group-wise, just something that we can use as part of our, why we need to build a team type kind of post.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely come up with something, because I definitely know we're going to be doing the screenshots again. I'm having Omi work on that as we speak. So she's going to be doing that, setting that up for us real soon in the very near future. So it's just, we're going to do that one like, just kind of like we did the posts where people are posting their rank advancements. So we have the screenshots, for that. That'll be right there on that page. Also, we'll come up with some kind of tracker. We'll definitely probably do a ticker or a countdown to ED and MD, stuff like that, that people can use as motivation to make sure they get themselves inspired. So we'll figure something out.
Thank you, sir. Question from Dr. Arlene. She asked, what criteria do you use to put a wallet in a group?
Well, I was having this conversation. Me and Forrest was actually having this conversation the other day as well, when he was talking about building out his business and how to structure the people in the future. And I had this conversation with everybody, guys. Remember, when you see a video that I've done about how I actually place people and where I place people, remember that placement is coming from two levels of people who are in your portfolio. So, give an example. When I say I got 5, 6 people over here that I know for a fact should be fighting and qualifying for wallets or what have you. Like if I would just give an example, I'm looking at my list right now. People who've been, and it would be people who would actually have been with me. So if I'm saying, okay, Carly, Laura, Bev, Joe, Tanya, April, people who've been with me for a while, they know what the system is. Earl, they know what the system is. And I say go, I know for a fact that all of them have the ability to go out there and go GM same day if they wanted to, right? So for me, my criteria for where I put a wallet is different. I know all of them had the ability to go out there and first couple of days, boom, put 15 people in. Okay, so that's a wallet. I know they have that ability, so I can put that onus on them, right? But for some of you who actually have brand new groups, or you haven't had established leaders or people who can do those type of things, what you do is you judge based off of what you see them do that you teach. Okay. So remember, you got first 5, and then you have 2 that you're going to focus on. Okay. So I'm not ever putting my best first 5. I did that before, messed up, not doing it again because I'd already be ED and on my way to MD had I did it another different way. But your wife or your husband on one, okay, if you're not married, one of your sons or daughters, okay, and then if you have one person on let's say the top row that's really hot, or that's got some influence or something, then you put it onto that second person. Okay, if you are, again, brand new. So you got two right off the rip like that. But if you don't have, again, kids or somebody who you want to bless with that position to build under, what you do is say, okay, this person's in GCU, this person's on Millionaire Mindset Call, and everybody else ain't. So this person is at least plugging in and doing what I taught them to do. And I got to find somewhere to put this sixth person. So I'm going to put it into the most plugged in person, the most coachable, teachable, and trainable person. Or I got this person over here. This person's plugged into everything. This person over here is sponsored 6 people. Okay. I'm going to probably put one under each one of them, and that'll be my 2. Because I got somebody who can run and gun, and I can build under, and I got somebody over here I can coach and develop, and they can start recruiting, and everything will be fine. I'm always going off of, again, what has the most future, who can, one, first of all, who is showing me they have the signs and the ability to take instructions, and without deviating from the plan. Somebody who can take instructions without creating their own system. All right, somebody who's really doing exactly what we asked them to do, even if it's not to the ability that we want them to be done. If that person is just coachable, teachable, and trainable, that's why I'm starting putting my resources on the people like that. Because those people are trustworthy. Yeah, a person who's just bringing in volume, you can't really trust that person because that person is not showing you anything except for volume, and that's a horrible indicator of who you should be working with, right? If that person is not following the system, that person is detrimental to the system, but they got a lot of people in there because they have some influence. They'll never ever putting anybody under that person.
Thank you, sir.
Because I'm just saying, so even if, like I said, Dr. Arlene, let's say if you brand new and you can't train them on a level that I can train them on, I can train y'all together. So you say you brought in somebody opposite of Sarah, that person is really coachable, teachable, and trainable. Now y'all grow up in the system together. Now I'm working with both of y'all at one time. And you're watching me work with Cedric. You're watching me develop him, groom him. You're watching me make sure I hold him accountable. You watch me do all the things I'm supposed to be doing with him. And now when he brings somebody in or when you bring somebody else in, you know what to do with them. Yeah. All right. Good question, though. That's a really good question. That's a really good question.
Thank you, sir. Laura asked, while creating culture, how do you handle persons who do not follow instructions because they feel inadequate?
Well, this is the thing. Everybody has to find their own motivation. That's why it's a numbers game. I don't handle people directly. I handle people indirectly. I let people's bank accounts handle them. I let the market and their situations handle them. I let their returns handle them. I don't handle people. All I do is my job, which is go put in so many people that I don't know that you actually have a problem, right? That's an internal situation. Now, I'm over here looking at these people who are building, these people who actually deserve that time. They deserve that primary spot because they're following the system, they're doing their thing. I'm focused on them. I'm so busy over here on them that I don't really see or hear anything else. And what happens is when a person who's complaining or failing on purpose, when they see that they're basically being left behind, they start to self-fix. Yeah, they start to self-fix. They start to make adjustments. They start that fear of loss, that really kicks in. And that's what you want to build on that. You always want to create. One thing my leaders have always done was always been willing to leave me behind. They didn't slow up to beg me to do the business or any business that we've ever done. They made sure I was right there up front or I was way in the back. That's how you do it. Just make sure that they see you moving, period. And make sure that they cannot take any credit for any of the results that you actually have. That's why I tell people right now, hey, look, if you really want to have some respect coming from this particular leg right here who don't respect your time, hurry up and go VP before they go GM. Because they will now see that they didn't have anything to do with your VP. Right? They may have contributed a little volume, but they figured out real quick that you already have 2 people that you covet more than them. You have 2 people that you're focused on right now when you're not focused on them. And now that person's being left behind. Now they know for a fact that they're not as important to your success as they thought they were. If you love them, you'll leave them, Laura. Y'all hear in the movies all the time. I don't know why y'all think it works in the movies and not in real life. It's me, it's not you. It's me, it's not you. My standards are too high, I guess. I expected too much for you. I should leave. I'm gonna leave you to your life. You can be happy on your level. Because I love you. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Anything else, Carly?
Yes, sir. Sarah asks, do you build under your 5 if none of them want to build, or do you find another?
No, you build under one of the 5, 2 of the 5. Because remember, it's not going to hurt, or if anything, it'll actually help somebody. So you take the person that's most plugged in, or the person who may have the most money or the most influence, and you start building under that person. You don't want to go wider than 5. If they're all active accounts, you find one, boom, bam, and run under that person. And then when you call them back and say, you know what, Lisa, Ms. Duckworth, I don't know if you felt that or not, right? But I just ran 5 brand new people up under you, and that volume is kicking. If you want to get paid off of it, you need to go do something, right? Hey, Jackie, I don't know if you felt it, but I just put 17 people under you, and I just broke 2 GMs under you. We got a VP. I mean, what you do is you go do the work. Somebody will wake up in the first 5. If not, somebody will wake up in the second 5. Guess what? If nobody wakes up in either one of those, you're still woke. At some point in time, somebody's gonna wake up and make some things happen, and they're gonna get excited, and things is gonna go and take off without you. I mean, it's gonna take off not without you, but it's just gonna take off, and you're gonna have to figure out how to catch up, or figure out how to now start to spread yourself across different legs of business, which is always cool. It's always a good problem to have.
Thank you, sir. Claudia asks, what is the GCU sign up address?
www.foresight-mg.com. It's on the actual website and the team website. And Carly, if you could type that in there for me, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I got you.
You can also sign up for the cruise on there as well. So GCU and the cruise on www.foresight-mg.com. My wife would be proud of me.
And that is all the questions I see, sir.
All right, so that puts us at 10:31. So we're all good, guys. Again, Millionaire Mindset Call, guys, every Monday night without fail. I will be, like I said, going to Brazil on Friday. So what I will do is I will have one of our solid citizens come on here and rep it. If depending on the timing, I may be doing it. I might have somebody else do it, but make sure you're here regardless, because again, I can tell you, it's whatever's going to be taught is something you're going to need to learn for something. You know, you can use it for anything, not just this. Okay, take the stuff, put it in your journals, go back, revisit it, and it'll start to flow with you and to you on how you can actually use it and implement it in your life. Okay, so with that, guys, love you guys. Make sure you guys go out here and again invite at least 5 to 10 people to tomorrow's presentation. You got Tanya Lawrence is going to be on there. She's going to be doing the calculator. She's going to have somebody interview. She's going to go out there and lay it down for you guys. So let her go to work for you guys and everybody else for the rest of the week, except for Friday. Guys, they're working for you. Reward them by putting people on the calls. And if you can be there, be there. So see you guys at the top, at the bank, at the beach. See you guys back here next week, same time, same line, more people. Bye-bye for now.
Record.